So the Pilgrims, who wanted to separate from the Church of England, leave England and go hang out in Leiden, Holland. But after about a decade, they think, I don't know if I want my kids to be Dutch. So they start looking for a new spot and decide to head to the New World. A small group of people get on a crazily small boat and they make the voyage over. And then they land at Plymouth Rock. So let's go see it. It's just a rock. In fact, there's a sign out front saying they probably didn't land at this rock or maybe any rock, but it's a nice idea. So anyway, this group of pilgrims shows up. It's not exactly what they were looking for, but they decide they need to stay. It does not go super well, even with help from Native Americans, but somehow, through sheer force of will, they create this place where they can openly worship as they wished. Now, once other English people see that they're actually pulling this off, they decide to come over as well. So this group called the Puritans show up about a decade later. Now, they are snobby people. One might say pretentious. So the Pilgrims were the people who came over first in the New England area, and they wanted to totally separate from the church. And now we're going to kind of shift gears and look at the Puritans, the people who came and settled the Massachusetts area. Here are some of the major differences. The Pilgrims were that first group again that was a really small group. They were English people, but they had come through Holland first before they got to the New World. And it was primarily working class people, so they didn't have a lot of money or resources. They came in 1620 and they came on the Mayflower and they settled in Plymouth. The Puritans on the right-hand side here represent a much larger group of people who are coming from England, and they are people who have some money and resources. They came about a decade after the Pilgrims, so they kind of watched that and decided like, okay, this could work. And then they come over and they settle the Massachusetts Bay Area. This is the major way that I think about the Puritans. Unlike the Pilgrims, the Puritans wanted to stay with the English church. They did not want to separate, but they did want to purify it, which is kind of, at least in my head, a terrifying word when you're combining it with religion. So this group of people is going to be really intense. In fact, on the way over, as they spotted land, a speech is made about how they're going to be a model of a Christian community that the whole world can look at, and they are going to be the closest to God, and Jesus is going to give everyone high fives about like, wow, no one could have done it better. I hope everyone looks to you guys of how to do things right. You are the model. You guys are fantastic. So that is the plan when they come over, and they talk about how they're going to build this shining city upon a hill that everyone can look to. And if you have ever been to the Boston State House, it is literally a shining building on top of an actual hill. We made it literal. And if you're thinking like, oh, that attitude, we don't really have that anymore. That's just from, way back in the day. Guys, I think we still have it a little bit. Not to say we don't deserve it, but I think it's a thread line for sure that we are very, very proud of our state. So we are going to take a look at the City Upon a Hill speech. I'm going to have you guys look at some excerpts. Just so you know, the City Upon a Hill is the name we commonly use, but its official name is a model of Christian charity. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that, check in Google Classroom, and you will find the document.